This is the perfect RIA, in case you didn't know. Bringing you all the strategies to help your business grow. Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Sit back and listen in while you feel the beat, yeah. Another myth bites the dust.
Hello, TPR Nation, and welcome to another episode of Follow-Up Friday. I am your host, Matthew Jarvis, co-founder of The Perfect RIA and financial advisor in the Seattle, Washington area. And in today's Follow-Up Friday, we're going to look at the action items that can directly result in you having more prospects. As you may recall from last week's episode, these next couple of episodes are leading up to our May 18th power session on doubling the effectiveness of your prospect process, the 5 mistakes advisors make in their prospecting. And one of these mistakes, not one of the ones we're going to cover on May 18th, but one that sort of leads up on that, is advisors kidding themselves that they're prospecting when in fact they are playing office. A great example of this would be updating your social media status. Yes, I know that somewhere some advisor is getting clients through social media. It's just when I talk to advisors with multi-million-dollar practices, not one of them have pointed to social media as their main driver. Now, again, there's probably 10 advisors listening to this that will shout out loud to say, hey, this is how I get my clients. And that's fine. But especially with social media, you've got to really delineate where is taking action and where is playing office. And how do we know where that line is, be it social media, be it networking, be it events, whatever the case may be? It's by having a repetition that we are going to measure. We need to measure some sort of input that we're putting into our prospect process and count that again and again. In Monday's episode, Micah highlighted his work with planyourfederalretirement.com, which is now a major driver. Micah has dozens and dozens of prospects waiting to schedule meetings with him. It was not always this way. Micah spent years putting in the reps, creating content day after day, week after week to generate a site that could get that kind of follow through. Same with my work in getting centers of influence to send me a steady stream of referrals. It was not one call to a center of influence that suddenly I got all these referrals. But it was call after call, meeting after meeting, month after quarter after year that created this golden goose, if you will. And so in Monday's episode, we looked at examples of that. We talked about the 10,000 hour rule, which is a Malcolm Gladwell sort of pseudoscience that you need to spend 10,000 hours of intentional practice to become a master at any trade or any activity. And so you need to look at your own prospect process, whatever channels you are using to get new prospects, new leads into your office. You need to find a way to measure those and to make that your first activity of the day. It's too easy to avoid these important reps. Sort of like it's easier to have a can of Coke than it is to do 100 sit-ups. You've got to do the sit-ups first, or in this case, you've got to do the reps, the phone calls, the meetings, whatever the case may be. I would even have a rep. I shared this on Monday. Early in my career, I know this sounds odd for those of you that know me personally. I was very intimidated by social settings. I was very intimidated by networking. And so I would go to networking events or just any kind of community events, and I would create a tally of the number of people I needed to directly say hello to. Now, this, my friends, is a low bar. All I needed to do to make my mark was to look someone in the eyes, say, hello, how are you doing? That was it. No asking for a second opinion, no giving out business cards, none of that. I needed a rep that I could 100% control, and saying hello to people was one I could 100% control. By the way, to this day, I do similar things when I go to conferences. I plan ahead and I visualize in my room before I get out of the conference, what question am I going to ask every advisor that I meet? So instead of having some awkward conversation about the weather or politics or sports or whatever, I'm going to know, hey, I'm going to ask every advisor I meet how they handle RMDs. I'm going to ask every advisor I meet how they determine which bucket to take distributions from. That way I have a conversation starter that I can count on, that I can find reliable. So let's drill this into action items. Action item number 1 is to find the one thing. Now, eventually you can count 5 things. The one thing that you can do on a daily basis, and you can count those reps. Calls to center of influence, a new video posting, a new blog post, a podcast, whatever the case would be, something that you can count every day. Related to that, the night before, you need to set yourself up for success. So when I was working closely with centers of influence, I would the night before print the list with telephone numbers of the people I needed to call so that in the morning I wouldn't get distracted by my CRM or the Wall Street Journal or anything else. I could go straight into making those calls. Action item number 2, save yourself the pain, the absolute suffering that all successful advisors go through by, instead of listening to the experts and reading books by the experts, find advisors who have mastered the marketing channel, the prospecting channel you want to use, and learn from them. So if you want to master creating online content, I would talk to Micah Schlansky. If you want to master creating leads through podcasts, I would talk to Benjamin Brent. If you want to talk to advisors who have specialized in a very narrow niche, I would talk to Adam Schmiele. I would look down this list and say, if there's an advisor, if you want to narrow in on dentists, I would look up Reese Harper, right? So I'm going to go through and find the people who are actually doing it so that I can implement with confidence. Action item number 3, visit theperfectria.com to sign up for our May 18th power session on how to double your prospect process. If you are a Backstage Pass or Invictus member, you will be automatically signed up. If you are not a Backstage Pass or Invictus member, this is one of just a couple of chances we offer each year to join, to get access to our new Invictus toolkits, our value adds, endless videos of Mike and I delivering value to our clients and our prospects, invitations to our events, including our October event with XYPN in Denver, which we'll have some more details on that shortly. So visit theperfectria.com. And until next time, happy planning.
Hold on before we go. Something that you need to know. This isn't tax, legal, or investment advice. That isn't our intent. Information designed to change lives. Financial planning can make you thrive. Start today, don't think twice. Be a better husband, father, mother, and wife. The Perfect RIA, the Perfect RIA.